Hi everyone, today we're going to be doing this picture. This is part of our a full page spread in World of Flowers, by Johanna Basford. And we're going to be using our Castle Arts as we have for all the other designs on this page. I haven't decided on what colour to do for the background for this, and I've actually been sitting here pondering what to do before pressing the record button. And I decided I just needed to get on with it and press the button. And I think I've made a decision. I can't keep you waiting, can I? So I made the decision. I've decided to do the background in cool grey. Sorry, that's blurred. I haven't done any other backgrounds in grey, so I thought it might, it will look different, which is good, which is the idea. I'm trying to make each one a slightly different colour. It may not work out that way, but we'll see. And also there's a lot going on in this square, lots of different types of items, which will be lots of different colours, I think. So I figured that having a sort of neutral-ish background will work, but we'll see if it works when we finish, won't we? But anyway, this is the lightest grey in my Castle Art set. This one only has two. Cool Grey Deep and Cool Grey. I do have a Payne's Grey in my botanical set. I think I've also got one in my seascape set actually. I like the Payne's Grey, which I could of course get out and do alongside this, but I don't think the Cool Grey is going to work. The Payne's Grey, interestingly, I found out fairly recently, is a purpley grey. It's a really complex colour. Now obviously depending on which brand you use will depend on the exact colour of it, but I just thought that was quite fascinating, because sometimes I do think grey and purple together can work. In fact, I did them together, I blended them together for a footpath I did a picture of a shop in a Rita Berman book, and I did the shop with pinks and purples and a bit of blue. So when it came to the footpath in front, I didn't want to do it in a colour that looked too different. So although I wanted to do it grey, because I didn't want it to sort of stand out hugely, I mixed some purple in with the grey. I used Castle Arts. I think I used a lavender, or as you know, a very pale purpley colour, and the lightest grey, probably this one actually. And I did a layer of grey, and then a layer of purple, and then a layer of grey, and I considered blending it up, but actually by the time I'd done the 3 layers, it all sort of, they looked right together, and it didn't just look like a purpley grey, which is what I was after. I didn't want it to look too purple because it would be too unrealistic, but I wanted to blend the grey in, and it didn't look like a Payne's Grey though. It was much more soft, because Payne's Grey tends to be quite a dark colour, and I wanted it light. Oh, that's a bit stripy, isn't it? Should be doing little circles really. I'm going to rub that out, I don't like that. You can see these stripes here. Just using my Tombow Mono eraser. And we'll do a gentler circular motion here instead. I also thought I might want to leave some things white on this page, because we've got some paper over here with the flower on, and we've got a calendar of course here, so I thought it's possible that I might want to leave the paper white. I haven't decided yet, so having a grey background can work quite well for that, because the white will really stand out. So we'll see what happens anyway. So I'm working through this page. I've still got 4 pictures to go. I haven't been putting them on consecutive days, although I tend to film a few at a time, just because I don't want everyone to get really bored of seeing from the same page every day. And I know some people might be looking at a particular book and wanting pictures from that or whatever, and I try to vary it a little bit, trying to keep everybody happy. And it's fun for me as well, because I'm not doing the same thing. I don't think I would want to do this whole page in one go. Now, although I can easily colour a whole page in one go, filming isn't quite the same. Although I'm enjoying the colouring just as much, and actually tend to do a better job of colouring when I'm filming, which is brilliant. I do have to talk to you at the same time. And I do get to a point where I've run out of things to talk about this particular book or page or whatever. So then I switch to a different one and I can find some different things to talk about. Because I'm sure I repeat myself quite a bit, but anyway, I was going to actually say to anyone that's fairly new to the channel that I have been making a video every day for over a year, and some days I do 2. Recently I've been doing quite a lot of two per day just because I've had some time off work, so it's been really nice. So if you haven't had a look, have a look at my playlists on YouTube, or at just generally the videos I've downloaded, because there are loads. They're mainly, that's too dark, oh, that little bit in there, just going to gently erase it a little bit. They are mainly from Johanna Basford books, and there are some from each of her books, so if you've got only one you'll find some pictures from it. Some books there's more than others, just because I haven't had some books for as long, because although I've got all her books and completely coloured them all, I haven't been making videos ever since I started colouring, so there's that. But there are lots of videos, and then also if you want help with, say, how to colour a tulip, or how to colour a brick wall, or a fish tank, or whatever it might be, then you can have a look, because it will be a specific picture from a specific book, but the technique could be applied to other things, so it can be worth having a look for that. But if you find there's something you want and you can't find my video on it, just send me a message, say, have you done a video on X? And I will direct you to it if I have, and if I haven't, then I might consider doing one, because it's nice to do what people want. I can't always do it, but I try my best. I've been asked to do a copper pot. I'm still researching for that at the minute. It's not something I've done, so I found a tutorial, but it uses Prismacolor pencils, and I don't have those particular ones. This is Oxide of Chrome. I'm going to use it for this heart-shaped wreath. What I'm going to attempt to do, although it's quite small, is to do more layers of colour in the middle and less as I come out towards the edge of the little teardrop-shaped leaf, and just do that round. So yes, the copper pot is, it will come, but the tutorial I found is in Helen Elliston's book. Her books are amazing, but it, as I say, uses Prismas, which I don't have many of, and it uses the copper colour Prisma pencil, which again, although I can't replicate with anything, Polychromos has a metallic, three metallic pencils, sorry, talking rubbish. It has a silver and a gold and another one. I don't know if it's copper or bronze and whether it would work, so I'm going to have a little play with that and have a think about it, and whether I can replicate that or not in a tutorial. But I will get there, but it sometimes takes me a little bit of time, and also I record in advance, so this video is probably at least a week, recorded at least a week before you see it. And that isn't because it takes me a long time to edit, it's because I'm just that sort of person where I like to be really prepared and organised. I wouldn't want to not have a video for tomorrow and then have to quickly make one and be in a panic about it. This is about relaxation and fun. I do enjoy making videos, and part of my enjoyment is being well organised with it. So as long as I know that I've got some ready to go out, I'm happy. So that's really good. And I tend to prioritise my Johanna Basford ones, so I tend to get those at least a week in advance, and then once those are done I might then do ones from other books and release those in the afternoon. So the Johanna ones go out first thing in the morning, UK time, so 7:15 normally. Sometimes I schedule them for 7:15, sometimes I release a bit early. It depends if I'm need to get on really or not. So there's that. I like that. I hope you do. And now for the ribbon. I'm just going to get some of the grey, because for me, the way that's drawn, to zoom in a bit for you. Oh, I hope it's a bit blurred. It's okay, I think. For me, you see it comes around this hook. For me, the ribbon is facing so that we can only see the very edge as it goes around this hook. So I think this bit is actually wall, and we can't really see the ribbon. And then we'll do the ribbon here. So I like pink ribbon. That's what I'm going to do, because it's a heart. I think we should do pink. This is the Jaipur Pink, and I'm going to start by just doing a little layer of pink on it, and then thinking about where to put the shadow, sort of darker pinks. So thinking about where it's going to be darker, anywhere near the knot, because if you think about something that's knotted, it's usually slightly scrunched, and then that sort of scrunched up area there will be shadow, and although this is too small to have that sort of detail, we could still make it darker in those areas, and also maybe just at the bottom of the knot like that. Now for the we've got two of these round sort of drawing pins or something like that. I'm just going to grab a yellow, which to me looks a little bit goldeny, and I'm going to try and just pretend it's gold. I can't do anything too fancy because it's quite small. So I'm going to use the yellow Ochre Light. So let's put it out of shot here, and I think it looks quite goldy, and I'm just going to do quite a hard, oh, I've broken it. I said quite a hard application. Yeah, that was so hard that I broke it. Oh dear. My pencil sharpener's a bit full. Hold on. If your pencil sharpener is too full, your pencils will break when you sharpen them. And that's what happened there. It's always wise to keep a good eye on what's going on. There we go. You see, that hasn't broken because the sharpener was empty. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my pink ribbon, because while I was messing around there, I just spotted we've got a little piece of ribbon here coming out of the box. I will have to zoom out so you can see. Oh, no, that's in. Zoom out so you can see. I'm going to put everything in shot now. Let's just push up a little. You can zoom in a tiny bit. Because I will forget to move the book, and then you won't see what I'm doing. Let's just turn it a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to do this piece of ribbon here in the pink colour, as if maybe there was a little bit left over and it was shoved in the box. So there we go. And here I think it will be darker up here and here, where it's near to where it sort of crosses itself really. So there's our ribbon. Now we may as well do these boxes. I'm thinking I'd do them brown, like they're sort of cardboard, and then this edge bit might be black, like it's a sort of bit of leather or something. I don't know, we'll try and see what happens and see what you think. I'm going to use quite a dark brown. This is burnt umber. I only have the 4 browns here, and they're 3 of them are very orangey browns, which isn't the colour that I wanted. And the other one is quite pale. It's called Davy's Grey. Actually, it's not really a brown. So I'm using this, and I think that's fine. It is a little bit darker than a cardboard box, but I don't think a cardboard box would be a reddy orangey brown either. So it's fine. I'm happy with that. Now I have had someone ask me if I could use pencils from different sets in a video. It is something I'm thinking about. It's quite tricky because although I do use different sets when I colour on my own, I don't have a lot of room on my desk when I'm filming because I have a tripod. So spreading out lots of sets of pencils could be tricky. I do have a few in drawers near me which I could use, but they're just my sort of open stock bits and bobs. Not a proper set. so it could get a bit mixed up and complicated. I also like to be able to tell you which set I'm using, so that if you've got a particular set and you want to watch a particular video, you can find it. You might think, oh, I haven't got Castle Art, so I won't watch those. I've got polychromos, so I'll watch her polychromos, that sort of thing. I try to vary my sets a bit so that there's different things for different people as well, and it makes it fun for me to try out different sets, of course. I'm going to use the Ivory Black, as I said, for the edges. I'm not going to press really hard with this black. I don't want it to really burnish into the page, but I do need to make sure that it doesn't look grey like our background. And you can see it's these are quite vibrant. Castle Arts are quite vibrant, so I'm not pressing really hard, but I'm just getting the colour of black that I'm after, really. So that's good. Now we've got this radio as well, and I'm wondering what colour to do that. Because radios aren't all black these days. When I had my first little transistor radio, portable radio, whatever it was black. I remember it well. It lasted forever, and the batteries lasted ages as well. Let's see what I'm doing. I'm going to do this bit black as well. But that was before I ever had a tape recorder. I think my first tape player, gosh, if you're young, close your ears. My first tape player, I'm just going to do a bit of black in there, because that's inside the box. Right. It was like a Walkman, but it was an imitation one. So I'm going to do this picture next. I know we haven't done this cloth. I'm still thinking about the colour for that. I want this to be quite bright and pretty, so I'm going to pick quite a light pink for the flower. And this Grenadine Light, oops, I think it's quite jumpy. I think it will do the trick. I'm not going to do anything fancy with these petals. They're so small. Yeah, I had a Walkman, and then I think that was it until when I left home and went to university, I didn't have any way of playing music, and so I bought myself a little CD player and a couple of CDs. I used to listen to the same ones over and over. Obviously I didn't have loads of money, no student does, but I had worked Juniper Green, I think, for the leaves. I had worked the year before, so I had some money, so I bought that, and it meant that I could just listen to a bit of music while I studied. It's quite odd, because these days I wouldn't want to listen to music at all while I was doing any sort of work. I like to have it quiet. I'm going to do some Naples. Sorry about that. I hope the phone didn't alarm you. I'm not sure where I got to. I've been on the phone for nearly an hour. So I just start this bit. I've got the Naples Yellow in front of me, and I think I was doing this flower centre with it, so I should just continue with that. Yeah, my mum gave me a call. We always catch up each day, which is really nice, and it was quite a long chat, which is nice. She calls me for quite a long time each day, and I do like it. Now, I'm probably going to leave this bit white for now. I may change my mind, but I want to do this little bit of sticky tape, and oops, just hit the tripod with my pencil, and I think I'm going to use the Davy's grey. It's a little quite brownish grey, I think, and just, oh no, that looks just like the background, doesn't it? We can't be doing with that. Let's grab this brown. This is the burnt umber that we use for the boxes. We'll just go over it a little bit. It's not really looking like sticky tape now, but at least it doesn't. I suppose if it's see-through, you might see the wall through it. Anyway, it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Now, we've got this calendar here, and I'm going to do the hanging part in a colour. What sort of colour, I wonder, would it be? I was thinking grey, but we can't do that. Brown? No, black. Let's do it black. Here's our Ivory Black. We have used this before. But I'm thinking these sorts of, it's sort of a plasticky thing. They're not normally brightly coloured as far as I've ever noticed, so do it in black, and it will stand out a little bit, but hopefully not too much. It's not something we want central in the picture. I'm hoping that the flower will stand out. Now when I did this the first time, I did it as a sunflower, but I might do something different this time. It looked quite nice as a sunflower, but well, let's do something else. We'll put that back in on, please. What should we do? What colours? We've got pinks. Could do it in a purpley colour, couldn't we? Should we use my favourite? Let's use the purple Lake Deep. Here we go. And let me think. So I'm just going to do the petals in this colour. They are quite small. I'm going to try to do a lighter colour nearer to the centre and a bit less towards the tip of the petal. Quite difficult in this small space. I'll do my best. You might just want to colour the whole thing. What I love about this colour is there's a lot of pink in it. It's not just a purple, like a bluey purple. It's a very pinky reddy purple. I think that's really nice. You could spend a lot of time making this bottom part darker using blacks and darker purples, and it could look a lot more three-dimensional. But one thing we need to remember is this is actually a picture on a calendar, so it's not supposed to be a three-dimensional plant. It's supposed to be a picture of one. So there's that worth bearing in mind, but also it's small, so just leave it, just have fun with it like I am. There we go. I'm just going to move that up a little bit more purple. I'm going to actually go around the edge of this centre part in a harder layer just to emphasise that. That's an easy way to do it. Now for the centre, we could go in different ways. We could do a lilac, we could do a pink, we could do a yellow, a black. There's lots of options really. I think I am going to do this colour. I'm going to grab now, I don't know what it's called. Oh, here we go, Aubergine. An aubergine colour. I need to sharpen it, it's a little bit blunt. And I hope that it will stand out a little bit from the other purple. Let's see what happens. I'm going to do it lightly to start with because I don't want it to blend in completely to the purple. It is quite similar, isn't it? Quite pinky. So I'm going to build up that layer a bit. I want it to be lighter in the middle a little bit. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I'm not very zoomed in, am I? Can't really see. Now I'm thinking I'm going to use this aubergine as well to gently colour this side. I'm going to leave some of this paper white like I did on the flower. I may, again, as I said, may change my mind. But I thought if I coloured that in just lightly, it would just make it look a little bit more interesting. And I'm thinking behind that flower might be a little bit of a background. There, that's quite even. With that, and I was thinking yellow would make it look pretty, so I'm going to grab a yellow we've used already. This is the Naples Yellow, and then it will just draw it together a little bit more, and also it's quite a nice colour to go with purple, I think, a sort of more browny yellow, and I'm just going to colour that in as best I can. I'm pressing quite hard-ish, doing quite a few layers because I want it to be quite dark, this bit. There we go. And I hope that makes the flower pop out a little bit more. Okay, well now we've got the radio. Now could just do it in black and grey, sort of silvers. But little transistor radios these days do come in all sorts of fun colours. So I was thinking we could try to do a sort of dusty pink colour. I'm just having a look to see if we've got anything of that sort. We have this very bright pink. I think we're going to have to go with this. This is the rose pink. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, I think. I know I said I wasn't going to, but can't move across, that's the only thing, so you're not going to... I can a tad. There we go. So I think I'm going to do the main part with this, and then I might do the buttons and the handle and things in a different shade. I know pink seems a bit mad for a radio, but why not? You know, the boxes are quite conventional. Let's do something on this sort of page that will stand out, because we've got some pinks and purples. I think it will tie in nicely. You have to think, why have we put these items together on this shelf? You know, what is it about them that ties them together? Because if it was my cupboard, there would be a reason for everything. I wouldn't just shove things on a shelf. I would have a reason, and maybe it's because they're similar colours. Now this bit is the sort of speaker part. I'm going to do this a little bit darker. So all I'm doing is adding an extra layer of this rose pink colour to darken it up a little bit. So we'll see. Now that might be all of that colour I do. I'm going to do, hang on. She lies. I'm going to do a lightish purpley colour. We have a nice colour here. The Lavender Light, and it's got a slight pinky tinge to it. So I'm going to use that for the legs. I'm doing them a little bit darker at each end. I don't think it's really showing up that much, but that's okay. And for the sort of attachments for the handle and the handle itself, so I'm going to do it slightly darker here and slightly lighter up here. And then the same with the buttons, darker here and lighter as we go up. I'm not sure if this really matches, but a bit late now, isn't it? I think it might have been better to have done the lavender, a bit more purpley. I'm just going to do that all over. Do a darker bit underneath this sort of central bit. Let's make it look like it's a little bit closer to us. There we go. Okay, so you might want to do that slightly differently. But hey, that's how I've done it. Now the pencil pot. Again, I'm thinking colours. Let's stick to similar colours to what we're doing. What's that? Let's grab this. It's a different colour. This is the Purple Light, and we'll do every other stripe of the pot in this colour. Now my aim with the pencil pot, look how beautiful that is to try and make it darker on the edge and lighter as we go towards the middle. Quite hard to do that when you've got these stripes, but we can see it's darker here, and this is about the middle. Now this is on the edge, it's going to be darker here, and we can reduce that pressure there. It's a bit tricky, but it may or may not work. And I'm going to use this purple, I think, the Purple Lake Deep, the other stripes. And try and do the same thing, some more layers on the edge, and this towards the centre. And there's some sort of shaping now to the cup, a little bit of shine going down the middle. It's not perfect, but it's okay. So it's quite tricky to get that right. You can always just darken a few bits to try to emphasise it a little bit. There we go. Now we've got these pens and things in the pot. I don't think I'm going to colour code them according to the area, or it's going to look a little bit too contrived. But I'm not going to do them totally weird and wonderful colours. I don't think I want to introduce any orange, for example, into the picture. So I'm going to grab a green, I think, for my first pencil. I might use the chrome green, actually. There it is. And do this one. Try and do it a little bit darker towards the base. Now we have a pen. My son's got a pen that looks like that. It's bright yellow. Oh, I hit the tripod again. So I'm going to go with this one, which is the Cadmium Yellow Light. And move you over a tad and do that this colour. I'm not going to try to shade with this yellow. I'm just going to try and make sure I get it down. I find yellow's a little tricky. There we go. Okay, now where should we go next? Maybe a red. We haven't really got reds, have we? Yeah, let's do this one. Oh, if I can reach it. We'll do the cherry pink for the pencil. And I'm also thinking about what colour to do that fabric on the other side there. Gosh, that's bright, isn't it? It's almost neon fuchsia pink or something. Wow. I think that other pen I might do in a blue. I suspect pens are often blue because they've got blue ink in, so we'll do that. This is our Delft Blue. And again, like the yellow, I'm not going to pay too much attention to shading, but I'm going to just get some colour down. I might do a little bit darker on the edges just to try and emphasise the sort of rounded shape of the pen, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. There. Yeah, it's fine. Now we've got these two pieces of fabric, and I'm actually going to use this same Delft Blue colour. We haven't got any other blue, and I think we need to introduce some blue, and I just think this is a nice colour. So no, it's laziness, isn't it? It's in my hand. So it's going to be darker here where it's shaded by the lid, and then in between the crinkles it'll be a little bit darker. The same here, it's going to be a bit darker here, and then up here like that, maybe a little bit more on the edge so it looks sort of roughed up a bit. There. Now we have got a label on this box, which I'd almost forgotten. Around the edge of the label I wanted to do black, and I forgot, so we've got the Ivory Black. I'm just going to go around here with this, and I think we might just leave the label white. What I'm going to do is zoom out so you can see the whole thing, and I need to move down a little bit. There we go. And then, we need to do a bit of colour on the pencils. I'm going to use this brown that we used before, the burnt umber, just to colour in the wood on the pencils just very faintly. So they wouldn't be white, would they? It's a little bit dark, but hey ho. And now at this point you can think, do I want to add any colour to this paper or this calendar or this label? And actually I'm going to leave those white. I think if I only left one thing white it might look a little odd. If we leave several things white I think it balances a little better. So that's my reasoning, and I'm going to leave those things white. But obviously it's up to you. But I think that was quite a long one, but we've got a few other big ones coming up as well. But hopefully you stuck with it and enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and happy colouring.